Yo, this is the extra chromosome episode 2. Yeah, no, it's been a minute, but I just saw Kanye wants to do a naked, like he wants to renew his vows naked with his new wife Bianca and have Kim Kardashian there. Dude, I think that's some baller shit right there. If you're Kanye West, man, it would be such a power move to pull up and be like, all right, I'm getting married. You send her a formal, you're renewing your vows completely naked, and you send a formal invitation to your previous wife, the woman who, your baby mama, dude. That's wild. But also, I can see it's kind of baller. Like, it's kind of like, well, I can respect it, Kanye. I can respect the freaking, I don't know, like the hustle, the bustle. I just think it's nuts, like, that the press is taking this seriously. Like, you imagine going to, like, Columbia, and this is what you're writing after you got out of college. You're like, yeah, well, obviously Kim's not gonna show up. Like, it's just the whole state of the news right now is so funny. Like, the tech support of the Washington Post had a strike, and they wanted more money and unlimited break time and a 4-day work week. So it's like, and unlimited pet bereavement. Well, if I had unlimited pet bereavement, I would be fucking buying goldfishes and letting them die. Like, oh, I'm just so torn up about goldfish number 8. You got 8 months off in a row. I just don't get it. But, like, let's look up news companies stock. Let's see how they're doing. Let's look at this. Let's look at the Dow Jones and see how they're doing, because I don't even know. All right, let's look at okay, News Corp. Okay, I don't know. Best publishing newspapers stocks. Let's see this. These places are still doing newspapers. Okay, actually no. Ooh, returns at a 5-year return, it's down 5%. But it's election year, so it's up 153%. Okay, some of these actually do pretty good, honestly. Some of these actually do pretty good, which is wild to me. Like, alright, let's see. How much average salary of a reporter, what are they called? A journalist. That's what it's called. Like, average salary of a journalist. Okay, so your entry level is $36K. So it's like $32K to $100K is what ZipRecruiter's telling me. So what the fuck, dude? That's such a wide variety. So the upper echelons of the news people are making $100K. Plumber, entry level salary, $52,000 a year. $52,000 a year. Look, why are you even going to school for news stuff, dude? Like, what's the fucking point? Like, I just don't understand. And then you go to school, and you're like, I'm going to be a serious journalist. And then the first thing you write, the first article you're given is, hey, Kanye is, he's actually doing, he wants to do a naked wedding, and he wants his, he he wants his he wants Kim Kardashian there, you know, the mother of his children. Like, it's just nuts. Like, it's insane to me how people don't realize, like, these celebrities are just, there's regular people that kind of like are we're always looking at them, because like everybody's life is kind of a little crazy like that. Like, maybe not like Kanye's he's another level, but like 99% of these celebs are just, they're just a little crazy. There's crazy people, you know. They aren't cool or anything, you know. They're just kind of a little crazy, you know. I mean, they're kind of like regular people, because every regular person kind of has some drama going on in their life, or something that, like, if you took out of context, you put in a news story, you could make it sound awesome, you know. Which is like, you know, I just don't get why people care so much. And then you have, like, they're like, oh my god, and you know who it is? It's white women that are my age, 20 years. It's white women that just love, they eat celebrities up, and I'm like, bro, why do you care? It is a celebrity. It's dumb. Unless they do something cool, you know? Like write their own movies, write their own songs. Like, half these freaking music people don't even write it. Let's see. Does Taylor Swift write her own songs? Let's see. She has written or co-written every song in her discography, except for a few cover songs, live covers, and guest features. Okay, so she's actually pretty good. Okay, so she's saying she's only written 50. She's written 54 songs on her own. So how many songs do you have? How many? Okay, I don't want to really nitpick, but look, I just like them. I want that authenticity. Like, I get it. Everything Taylor Swift does is everyone. All the news is freaking all over it, you know. But like, I think, like, it shouldn't. I mean, I think she's got it she kind of deserves it, bro. She's written 54 songs. She's a fucking mogul. Everyone loves her. I mean, it's hard to hate her. I mean, she's just so successful. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hate her? Like, who cares? She's dating a football guy. That's what my little brother says. We're just gonna see her on the Super Bowl. It's like, bro, you see her for 2 seconds. Who cares, bro? They're literally like, they act like, to me, it's like Republican dads when they see, like, trans people. You know, they're like, oh my god, Taylor Swift on the Super Bowl. They filmed her, and they get all heated. They're like, oh, they get all angry about it. And it's like, and then your Fox News, your Republican dad looks at it, sees it, just the vicinity, he sniffs the air, and a trans person's within a mile of him, and he's fucking freaking out. He's buying guns. He's getting ready for the apocalypse. He's talking about my kids. They're trying to take my kids. Like, it's a fucking. It's just a nuts. It kind of is that same reaction. It's just, you could see the reaction before. You know, it's like a younger version of that reaction, which that is fucking funny. You just imagine a fucking like the beginning of what am I trying to say here? Like, it it is funny that it's kind of like the same thing. Like, they do kind of get mad about the same thing. It's like, I'm mad about them showing a girl during football. It's like, bro, what are they going to show during timeouts? What are they going to show when Travis Kelce gets pulled out and it's drama with his girlfriend? And oh my god, like, oh, it is fucking funny. I know it's just so funny to me, right? But what I do want to talk about is scientific news. This is my favorite news. Scientific news. I love looking at this, because a lot of these things are they're actually dumb. You actually don't even know what's going on. Okay. Oh my gosh. First article, written 3 hours ago by Carolyn Gramling. From electric cars to wildfires, how Trump may affect climate actions. Let's see. How is Trump going to affect climate actions? If anything for 2024, it's that climate change is rapidly reshaping our world. So just so you know, everyone, the message I took away from 2024 was, I kind of want more money and less problems. But this person was learning that climate change is reshaping our world. Oh my, dude. You know, we're on course to set the hottest year on record. It's a very bad time to put the brakes on aggressive actions, including slashing U.S. carbon emissions and transitioning to greener, low-carbon sources of energy that scientists have repeatedly said are necessary to help keep the planet's warming in check. There is simply no more time for denial or delay. Hey, that's a quote by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warned. Oh, that's what the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warned back in 2022. You know what I bet? I bet Greta Thunberg was on this panel. Who was on the 2021 Intergovernmental Panel? Climate Change Panel. I just... okay, other key authors included... Okay, she wasn't. So this might have been like a real thing, actually. Here's the problem, though. I just can't, like... Okay, which focus on the scientific aspects of climate change. Like, okay, that's probably a real panel, but I don't get it. There's simply no more time for denial or delay. Like, it's like, bro, climate change is not that a big deal. The planet is greener than it has ever been. Trump himself has called climate change a hoax. In 2017, he pulled the United States out of the historic Paris Climate Accord. Okay, I love how they say it's historic and, like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, I get it, it takes a while for these things to really get into history, but it's just so funny that it's like, it's like, oh my god, it's so historic. And I guess, like, it is kind of weird to think about, like, when are the cutoff that, like, when can you call something historic, when can you not call something historic? Like I think about, like, when does something really become history? You know, like, actual, like, something that we need to learn about, we need to look back at, you know? Like, if we're always, I guess I'm getting a little too introspective, but if we're always looking back, like, right after something happens, like, what are we gonna do? I just don't know. But Trump also saying that reducing the country's carbon emissions imposed draconian financial and economic burdens on the country. And that is true. To actually significantly reduce carbon emissions, it is a fucking financial task. Like, it doesn't, first of all, it literally is impossible like, so what are we going to get rid of? Okay, we got to get rid of coal power, oil power, but they don't want to go to nuclear power. This is a problem. They don't like nuclear. They want to go towards solar panels and wind turbines. First of all, they're killing the whales, and which, I mean, you know, I don't really care about the environment, so it's like, okay, they're whales, like, who really gives a fuck? But it's like, also, the big thing that gets me is they aren't a very good solution. Like, to actually power something, you need it to run on full speed year round. It doesn't do that. They constantly break down, and when you need to throw away your windmill, it completely negates your amount of actual carbon emissions. Disposing of solar panels is also really tough. It's not as bad as wind turbines, but it is tough. Which, I mean, look, like, just really throwing away anything is, like, a huge problem that we should be solving. But, like, you know, like, solar panels use specific chemicals that are toxic, different stuff like that, so you need specific storage and stuff like that. You can't just put it in a landfill. There's different stuff. Like, it is tough. Like, it's tough. What do we do about all this stuff, you know? Like, and that's kind of the problem with these climate change questions is there's so many little problems to solve instead of, like, we need to focus on small, significant impacts. Like, I'm all for trying to preserve the planet, doing all this stuff, but I think the problem is that these fucking crazy people go, we need to stop it right now. Like, just stop oil. We need to do this right now. Like, it's like they want these huge changes to happen over fucking night. And I want to look at I would be on board with maybe little changes. Like, maybe we actually start recycling. Like, the recycling in America is fucking atrocious. All right, how much stuff is actually... Yeah, sorry you guys have to be along the ride for me looking up everything, but, you know, I'm too broke to afford a producer. Stuff recycled in the U.S. 9% of all plastic waste. So, okay, let's look at this more, Okay, the recycling rate in the U.S. has increased significantly since 1960, when only 7% of waste was recycled. Of course, it's 1960, they don't give a fuck. Alright, 32.1% of waste is recycled or composted. So that's actually not terrible in 2018. It says national goal to increase recycling rate to 50% by 2030. However, there is still room for improvement as recyclables in the waste stream are often contaminated, for example. Okay, so basically, cardboard, food stained boxes, cardboard buyers won't buy them. Oh, okay, so food stained boxes. We need to come up with a good way to clean these. So yeah, see, there's little problems that you can do, and like if you're some genius guy, and you can come up with a business idea, like maybe look, like these food stained boxes are kind of like a problem. Like cardboard buyers don't want to buy them. So you got like cereal, that's like 90% of a lot of your cardboard is touched by food. So that's a huge issue. So basically, if you just started a business, like, actually that's not a bad fucking business, dude. You'd hire, people start taking out, cardboard food, like cardboard that food touched in, food stained boxes, and you'd have to find a way. You'd probably just bleach it, huh? That's probably the best way, and then hopefully you can get cardboard buyers to buy them. Then you could probably actually maybe that could make recycling fucking... Oh, that actually... Yeah, maybe you could actually make that shit work. Like, hold up, let's look at this, dude. Hold up. We're starting a new business here on the podcast. I literally, that could actually fucking... Well, that actually might be work. Okay. So first up, here's what we do when we come up with a new business. Alright, well, what I do, because I'm a dumb idiot, but... First of all, we're going to look at how many employees. We're going to look at how hard it's going to do. Okay, so my first thought is, how are we going to sort out food-based... actually, we need to look at the current market. Like, who is currently... in charge of recycling cardboard? I mean, look, I'm not really going to look into it. That's way too much. But I'm saying, like, my point is, you need to come up with solutions for small problems like this, instead of talking about going from all gas cars to electric cars in the next 5 years, because it doesn't make sense. We have an energy problem, we have this problem, we have this problem, we have this problem. It just doesn't make any sense. Agreement that developing nations will deliver. Oh my gosh, are you seeing this? A climate summit held in November in Baku, Azerbaijan. The meeting concluded on November 24th with an agreement that by 2035, developed nations will deliver $300 billion a year to developing countries to reduce the burden of climate change impacts. You know what that is? A money laundering scam, okay? A money laundering scam to bribe and put in your own officials in these small developing countries. Like, what do you mean? Oh, this is a money laundering scam. There's no way. What are you gonna do? Okay, let's say this. Let's say you're living in the most prudent example I can think of is Africa. Okay, you're living in Africa, and you have a choice between power for your house, heat, so you can have heat, you can have AC, all the amenities that we enjoy today, like a computer, so your kid can do school, like all this shit that you need, okay, as a developing nation. You need, like, the main things, you're looking at heat, so you can get hot water, you can get, and AC, so you can have a nice living area, so your house isn't fucking dictated by the world, okay, your climate isn't dictated by the world, okay, so because it is 2024, and we need to, do our own shit, bro. Like, we built AC. We should not be living in fucking hot-ass places. We should not be living in cold-ass places. But look, okay, if you were living in Africa and you had the choice between AC and fucking AC, or AC because they're going to build a nuclear power plant in Africa, or they're going to build a a coal power plant or just some power plant that can get your power working for everyone, or you can have super duper expensive power that you can't afford on wind and solar panels, or you can have solar panels that kind of work most of the time, but it's not as efficient as you cannot power a massive a city with just solar panels. It just doesn't feasibly, it doesn't make sense, and your power is way more expensive. Like, it's just like, guys, it's these climate people, they live good lives. Like, that's the problem. It's like, dude, when you have to choose between fucking food and heat, like, what are you supposed to choose? Like, I love, like, it goes back to this quote where when gas was like it was like close to $5. I don't know what it was where you guys were, but up here in Utah, it was like $5. It was close to that. I don't know if it ever got to that, but I can't remember exactly. But Biden basically said, he's like, well, you just gotta stop driving your cars. And it's like, bro, what are you on, dude? People gotta go to work. Like, I just don't, like, just the callousness of that shit. And, like, not everyone's like, well, yeah, it's just for the climate. And it's like, bro, what the fuck's wrong with people, bro? Like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. All right. The future of the green transition under Trump. This is the next section. We're moving through fast, guys. Trump's selection to head the U.S. Department of Energy, Liberty Energy Oil executive Chris Wright has expressed doubts regarding the science behind climate change. We've seen no increase in the frequency or intensity of hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, or floods, despite endless fear-mongering of the media, politicians, and activities. In fact, numerous attribution studies clearly show climate change's fingerprint on natural disasters, including extreme heat waves, hurricane wind speeds, the rapid intensification, and torrential rainfall of hurricanes like Helen and Milton. Okay, here's the problem. We don't, like, look, I know this is going to sound fucking, I just want to, negate their points, but the point is, how the fuck can you prove that more CO2 in the air is making hurricanes more intense? Like, is making hurricane wind speeds higher? Like, we don't really know a lot of, we're dumb monkeys, dude. How the fuck? And they're going to try to say, well, it's just, and like anybody can go, like, here, let's look at it. Let's look at these attribution studies. Okay, 21st century heat wave. Okay, this is just heat waves and cold spells. Obviously, heat waves and cold spells are going to go up as you get more stuff. Tripled the risk? Okay, let's see this. Okay, historic heat wave baked the Pacific Northwest, killing hundreds of people and fueling wildfires. Okay, maybe, I don't know if a heat wave killed hundreds of people. If you're going to die, like, how, I mean, maybe it did, though. Maybe it did. It probably did. Okay, we'll just say, sure, it did. Researchers later reported that human-caused climate change made this heat wave at least 150 times more likely. But how? But how do scientists figure out how much climate change is to blame for a specific weather event? My exact question. Researchers use a variety of techniques, which is called extreme event attribution. I can't even say that. I'm dumb as I can't say this word. One method compares the world we have today, which was warmed 1.2 degrees Celsius since the Industrial Revolution, with what the world would look like without climate change. Researchers estimate. Okay. So this is just people making guesses. This literally says researchers estimate what that second world would look like based on historic trends in weather data and climate models. So, like, but here's the problem with this situation, okay? So they're looking at the world, the difference between the world before the Industrial Revolution. So before we could mass produce goods. So this is, you're burning a fire in your house. There's no electricity. There's nothing, okay? Everybody's burning wood and coal every fucking day to stay warm. To cook anything, you're burning wood and coal. To do this, you're burning, like, okay, so yeah, whatever. We'll just listen to this, though. It's, and then the scientists are going, yes, this is what the world would have looked like before that. The problem is it's the same fucking world. The only way you can actually make this study work is if you take the world. So the factor that they're trying to take out is the entire industrial evolution. But what specific things are you taking out? Like, this is just people going, well, technically there was a spike in the climate or whatever. Like, what do you mean? There's no reliable data back then. This is fucking hundreds of years ago. And this, like, I just want to be like, bro, like, what do you mean you're a scientist? Like, this is kind of this thing of like, you're getting a random ass grant for some bullshit. You didn't really know what you were doing. You just kind of did it. And you're like, oh, I got a grant. I got the money. Or like, it's like these budgets where like you're doing an experiment and you have this certain budget for that experiment, but then all of a sudden, like, oh, the bill comes due. We need findings now. And so they go, okay, well, let's come up with some dumb idea that doesn't really work, but we're just going to call it science and we'll try to explain it to people, but actual people with a brain aren't going to really realize that this shit's bullshit. Like, it's just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Researchers estimate what that second world would look like based on historic trends in weather data and climate models. Like, what do you mean? It's the dumbest shit. Like there's so many factors factoring into the environment. The Industrial Revolution. What if, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's so many different factors happening in the world. Like, it's just like, you can't really pin it on one thing. That's the problem. Like, I love how they say it's human driven. Prove it. You can't really prove it, because humans are on the earth. The problem is we have one earth, so we cannot prove that humans are the sole cause, or they are everything that's affecting it. We're the primary. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, scientists can then see if a specific weather event is more likely or severe in the real world than it would have been in a world without climate change. Another technique uses computer models to recreate specific weather events. For instance, they might simulate how powerful a hurricane would have been if Earth's oceans were slightly cooler. Let's look this up though. Okay, so do warmer oceans affect hurricanes? Yep. See, once they move over cold water or over land and lose touch with the hot water that powers them, these storms weaken. Okay, so it just says warm waters fuel more energetic storms. Okay, yes, warmer oceans significantly affect hurricanes by fueling them and making them more intense. As hurricanes draw energy from warm sea surface temperatures, leading to stronger winds and heavier rainfall when they make landfall. Okay, I guess warmer oceans make it. So basically they're saying if the Industrial Revolution, when we started to see spikes in temperature, now that I understand kind of the science behind it, during the Industrial Revolution, when we saw a spike and we started to see higher temperatures, before that, if that spike did not happen, which they're attributing that spike to the Industrial Revolution and us creating coal power plants and all this different stuff, then these storms wouldn't have been as bad. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, so they simulate a hurricane, whatever. Ocean by global warming made the real-life hurricane worse. Okay. Hundreds of studies have investigated the role of global warming in natural disasters around the world, and many have found that climate change made these events more likely or more severe. Climate change tripled the risk of Hurricane Harvey's record rainfall over Texas in 2017. Okay, this is the problem, okay? She's just telling me that this is what these scientists do. Where are your sources, bro? She doesn't have any sources, okay? I want to see these studies. I want to read them, because you guys don't realize what scientists are supposed to do is write a study that the average human, the average person can read and understand. Okay, you might have to look up words because they use big words, scientific words to be exact or whatever. But
you can go, like, when I researched a lot about testosterone in the gym and working out, and you can read those scientific studies, and it's pretty good. You can really understand it. You do have to kind of read it a few times because I'm dumb. Maybe you guys can read it one, but I want to see these studies and I want to read them because it's like what are you even talking about? But here's a problem. Is once I start reading this, I'm going to want to talk about it, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody ever wants to, nobody wants to talk to me about climate change. I'm a dumb 20-year-old. Even if I was a smart 20-year-old, nobody would want to fucking talk to me about this bullshit. Let's find a fun science story. Okay, this is what I like to do. Okay, we're doing science on this episode. We're going to do something else next episode. Okay, what the fuck? An urban disease? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, satellite space junk might wreak havoc on the stratosphere. I don't know about it. Scientists identify a long sought byproduct. For adult chimps, playing may be more important than previously thought. Yeah, obviously they're fucking animals. They don't do shit. Okay, bro, I need something good. I don't want health. I want something fun. Let's see. Let's go freaking. Let's do life. Life animals. Animals normally they have a good story. Okay. Okay. Bees flying by cars are dying by the millions. Putting vampire bats on treadmills reveals an unusual metabolism. Well, guys, let's see. We'll put that on the list, but we gotta find something good. The last one I found that was really good was about super pigs. It's fucking hilarious. This marine biologist discovered a unique. Oh my gosh, she discovered a unique blue whale population in Sri Lanka. Okay, giant rats could soon help sniff out illegally smuggled goods. Okay, that's actually sick. A new kind of border patrol agent could soon start work in African ports, sniffing out illegal goods that are smuggled across country lines. They're rats. And they wear tiny red vests. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's just so awesome. African giant pouched rats have been trained to identify pangolin scales, elephant ivory, and other items from at-risk species. Researchers report October 30 in Frontiers Conservative Science. The animals could soon play a part in deterring the international wildlife trade. Okay, that is kind of fucking sick, dude. A little rat, homie, but like, bro, that's fucking gross, dude. Rats are it's ugh. It just doesn't make sense to me. Rats are gross, dude. You ever see, like, you imagine if somebody had a fucking rat in their house, bro? That would be fucking wild, dude. Like, I'm like, okay, bro. Okay, let's see. Maybe there's something cool in space. We need something good, dude. All this shit's been dumb and not really cool. Okay, a first look at rocks from the lunar far side create a volcanic mystery. Okay, it's not a mystery. They probably know what's going on. Okay, bro. All this shit's so nerdy. Using AI, historians track how astronomy ideas spread in the 16th century. Like, why the fuck would you need to track that? Yes, we need to know how ideas spread in the 16th century. If we don't know how ideas spread in the 16th century, how can we spread information in the 2024 and then in the 21st century? Like, it's so dumb, bro. Okay, a near-Earth asteroid offers clues to one dark matter theory. All right. Okay, dudes. Actually, okay, science news was not it. You know what we gotta go back to? Oh, we're actually running out of time here. But, look, it's good talking. Today's topic was science. It's probably boring as fuck. Me arguing with myself about climate change. And actually learning that warm water basically makes hurricanes fucking sick. So, yeah, I'm gonna sign off, See ya.